Hello children, welcome to the English lesson. Today we are going to learn antonyms and synonyms. First, let's focus on antonyms. Do you know what antonyms are? Let's look at the screen. Antonyms, words that have opposite meanings. Simply, antonyms are the words that have opposite meanings. Opposite words can be called as antonyms. Now, we are going to have a look at some examples. Here, there is a fat man. Do you know the opposite of fat? Exactly, it is thin. Opposite of fat is thin. Let's move on to another example. Here you can see two buckets. First one is filled with water. The other one is empty, of course. So, the opposite of full is empty. Let's move on to another example. Here you can see two bags, two beautiful bags. The black one, it is 1,000 rupees, but the green one, it is only 600 rupees. So, the black one, as it is 1,000 rupees, we can consider it as expensive. The black bag is expensive, but the green one, it is not expensive. So, we can call it cheap. So, the opposite of expensive is, of course, it is cheap. Let's move on to another example. On the screen, you can see two boys. The first one, he is smiling nicely because he is happy. But the other one is not smiling. He is upset. He is not happy. Opposite of happy, of course, that is sad. The opposite of happy is sad. Did you get it? Now I am going to check your memory, whether you can remember the words we learnt. We came across 4 examples, and now just tell me full. What is the opposite of full? It is empty. Can you remember those two buckets? First one was full of water, and the other one, there was nothing in it. And the expensive and cheap bags. The black bag costs 1,000 rupees, so we can call it expensive. And the other was only 600, so we can call it cheap. Opposite of expensive is cheap. Next one. Can you remember those two boys? The one was smiling, he was happy. And the other one was sad. So, the opposite of happy is sad. Okay children, can you remember that fat man? Of course, the opposite of fat is thin. Opposite of fat is thin. Now let's move on to some other examples. Here, there are two ladies. The first one, she is nicely dressed and she is dancing also. So, we can call her a young lady. But the other one, though she is much fashionable, she is using a walking stick. And you can see there are wrinkles on her face. So, we can call her an old lady. The opposite of young is old. Got it children? Right. Look at these two tanks. The first one is deep and the second one is shallow. So, the opposite of deep is shallow. Another example, you can see a big elephant on a scale. He is amazed to see the scale because he is heavy. And look at this one. A tiny bird is on a scale. There, it is not as heavy as an elephant. So, we can call it light. So, the opposite of heavy is light. Now, you can see a man pulling a car. Maybe it is broken. And here, another man is pushing the car. So, the opposite of pull is push. Right, children. Again, I am going to check your memory, whether you remember the words. The opposite of young was old. The two ladies and the two tanks, deep and shallow. The elephant and the bird, heavy and light. And the two cars. One was pulling the car and the other one was pushing the car. Opposite of pull is push. Okay, children, I think now you have got an idea about antonyms, opposite words. Right, let's move on to a simple activity now. Here on the screen, you can see some sentences. I am going to read them for you. Each sentence has an underlined word. The first one, Mr. Silva is very generous. In the first one, what is the underlined word? It is generous. Second one, the clothes in the cloth line are dry. The underlined word is, of course, it is dry. Most of the questions in the paper are complex. The underlined word is complex. Lion is a brave animal in the animal kingdom. The underlined word is brave. Below the sentence, your answer is given. So, you can't use the word lion there. Let's move on to the fifth one. People migrate to urban areas for different purposes. The underlined word is urban. Right, now, you are given some words. You have to select the words from the list given. Replace them with the underlined words. Take your time and do the activity now. Okay, children, I suppose that you have completed the work. Now, let's check the answers. First one, Mr. Silva is very generous. Do you know what generous is? Mr. Pereira is willing to give what he has to the others. And did you get the opposite of generous? Yes, that is stingy. Let's move on to the second one. The clothes in the cloth line are dry. What is the opposite of dry? Of course, it is wet. Let's move on to the third one. Most of the questions in the paper are complex. Do you know the meaning of complex? Think when you get the papers, you find difficult questions as well as easy questions. So, complex is difficult. The meaning of complex is difficult. So, what is the opposite of that? It is simple. That means easy. Let's move on to the fourth one. Lion is a brave animal in the animal kingdom. I think that you know the opposite word for brave. It is timid. Though lion is a brave animal, rabbit is a timid animal, very innocent. Let's move on to the next one. People migrate to urban areas for different purposes. The underlined word is urban. So, what is the opposite word of urban? Of course, that is rural. Okay, children, I hope you have got a clear idea about these simple opposite words. Okay, children, I am going to tell you a small story that is about Tarindu, a student. Tarindu is a student of grade 11. His English teacher asked him to bring the 2 boxes of antonyms from the activity room. Then Tarindu went to the activity room to bring the 2 boxes. On the way, can you guess what happened to Tarindu? No, children, he fell down. He got the words mixed up. He jumbled all the words. So now Tarindu is in a big problem. We have to help him to arrange the opposite words. So now we are going to help him. How? Here are the words he got jumbled. We have to help him by arranging them in pairs. I'll do one for you. Let's take the word huge. Huge. And I need to find out the word opposite in meaning to huge. It is not external, not decrease. It's here. Tiny. The opposite word of huge is tiny. This way you have to find out the pairs of antonyms from this box. Now take your time and do the work. Okay, children, hope you have completed the work. Let's see the answers. We have found a word rough. What is the opposite of rough? It is smooth. Okay, another word negative. Opposite is positive. Do you know the meaning of negative? We should not have negative ideas. We should have positive ideas. Positive thinking should be there. That's it. Then the third one, decrease, increase. The opposite of decrease is increase. Decrease means going down. Increase is going up. Forward, backward. Forward, backward. The opposite of forward is backward. Got it? Okay. The fifth one, absent, present. When you are not in the classroom, you are absent. When you are there in the classroom, you are present. Natural, artificial. We can decorate things or places using natural flowers as well as artificial flowers. So the opposite of natural is artificial. Next one, rare. Do you know the meaning of rare? Rare? If it is hard to find something, it is rare. If it is easy to find something, that is common. So the opposite of rare is common. Next one, inferior, superior. 9. External, internal. In the university, we have external students as well as internal students. The last one, failure, success. Success is the opposite of failure. Okay, children, now we have learned a lot of opposite words. I am going to ask a simple question on opposite words. Do you know the opposite of antonym? Of course, that is synonym. What are synonyms? Have a look at the screen now. Synonyms are words that have the same meaning. Synonyms are similar words, words with same meaning. Let's look at some pictures to get a clear idea. Do you know what this is? I'm sure you know it. In big shopping malls, in some hospitals, you can see this. Of course, that is the lift. Do you know another word for the lift? Yes, it is elevator. Good that you know it. Lift, elevator. Another example, you can see a mountain here. The synonym for mountain is hill. It gives the same idea. So, I suppose that you know what synonyms are. Now we are going to move on to a small activity. Look at the screen, children. There are 10 words. First, let's read the words. Bad, arrive, hard, begin, enormous, happy, course, shut, dangerous and clever. Now, here is a big pot filled with words. You have to find similar words for these 10 words from this pot. Now, take a couple of minutes and write the similar words for these words. Now, I think you have found the similar words. Shall we check the answers now? Okay. Okay, children. What is the synonym for bad? It is evil. Arrive, come. Next word, hard. What is the synonym for hard? Difficult. In the papers, you get complex questions. That is difficult. Next one, begin, commence. We commence the meeting. Right. Next one, enormous. It means very big. So the similar word is gigantic. Happy. You know what happy is? We smile when we are happy. So the similar word is glad. Happy, glad. Then course. And the synonym is reason. The teacher asks you, why didn't you come to the class yesterday? Then you give the reason. You give the reason. Next one, shut. Can you please shut the door? Can you please close the door? Shut, close. Okay, children. Dangerous, risky. Our parents tell us not to do dangerous things, not to do risky things that will harm us. Okay, the last one, clever, skillful. Okay, children, I suppose you have a clear idea about synonyms now. Let's move to another activity. Here, you are given 10 words with 3 words as options. First, let's read this. The first one, rich, delicious, listen, alike, chef, infant, competition, abundance, error, examine. What you have to do is, you have to underline the similar word that matches the given word. Take your time to do the task. Okay, children, now I am going to check the answers with you. I am going to do the first one. The first word is rich. Do you know what rich is? Exactly. Does it match with sad? Poor? No. Rich, wealthy. Okay. The second word, delicious. Do you know the meaning of delicious? Can you remember the food that your mother makes? They are delicious food. So we can tell my mother makes tasty food. So the synonym of delicious is tasty. Next one, listen. Of course, it's hear. Next one, alike. It is different? No, it is same. Alike, same. A chef is a person who is wearing an apron, making things. Yes, then he is the cook. Chef, cook. Next one, infant. A little baby. Infant, baby. Competition. Is it debate? No. Then is it defeat? No, children. That is contest. Number 8. Abundance. Were you able to find the similar word for abundance? Yes, it is plenty. Next one. Error. What is the synonym for error? Yes, it is mistake. Well done. The last one, examine. Do you know the meaning of examine? The patients are examined by the doctor? Yes. Then, what is the synonym for examine? You are right. It is inspect. Okay, children. Now we are going to practice both antonyms and synonyms in the same activity. Look at the screen, children. You are given a table with 2 columns. The headings of the 2 columns are synonyms and antonyms. You have to find the synonyms for the first column and antonyms for the second column. First, let's read the words. Astonish, choose, brave, collect, calamity. You have to find synonyms for these 5 words. And if we move on to this next part, you have to find antonyms for these 5 words. Now we are going to read these words. Ascend, construct, immigrant, majority, amateur. You have to find antonyms for these words. Okay. You are given the words and take your time to complete the task now. Hope you have completed. Now, shall we check the answers? Okay. Synonyms. Astonish, amaze. And what is the similar word for choose? Select. When we go to the shopping malls, we select what we want. Then, brave, fearless. Can you remember the lion? It is a brave animal. So, it is fearless. Similar words. Then, collect. We collect things. Gather. Similar words, collect and gather. Next one, calamity. Do you know the word calamity? The meaning of it? Disaster. Can you remember tsunami? It was a huge disaster. Okay, children. Now let's move on to antonyms. Ascend, descend. Descend is the opposite word for ascend. Then construct, we construct things, build up. And demolish is destroying that. Immigrant, immigrant. Majority, minority. Opposite words, majority, minority. Majority of the students like ice cream. Minority of the students like fruits. Anyway, the last word, amateur. The opposite of amateur is professional. Yeah. Okay, children. Up to now, we have learned many antonyms as well as synonyms. So, hope you enjoyed the lesson. Keep in mind, you have to read more and add some more words to your list. Have a nice day.